Hey there, John Chorby here from ReallyEasyGuitarLessons.com, and in this video lesson I'm going to show you how to play a really easy strummy version of Perfect by Ed Sheeran. So I'm definitely not trying to match the guitar on the recording. I'm going to streamline this for the beginner guitar player, but I'm also going to give you a couple different ways to play it. So this is just going to be some open position chords and a couple of different strumming patterns that you could use to strum along and play Perfect. So let's jump in and get started. Okay, so first thing is we're going to put a capo on the first fret for this song. So we need a capo for this. And so then everything that I'm talking about is in relationship to the capo. If I'm talking about the first fret, second fret, or third fret, it's, you know, a fret away, 2 frets away, 3 frets away from where the capo is. So there's just 5 chords in this song. And so with your G, you can play it a couple different ways. I think, you know, what's going to make the most sense for this version is going to be to do the G with the B string open. Okay, so 3rd fret, E string, 2nd fret A, open D, open G, open B, and the 3rd fret E. And I think a couple times in this you're going to see me not even put my ring finger down, because when we play, we're not even going to include the high E string into anything. So you don't necessarily have to put it down. So I'm going to recommend that G, but also you could do this version of the G now where you have your ring finger on the 3rd fret of the B string and your pinky on the 3rd fret of the E string. Okay, so whether you do it like that, or that, you know, you're going to have some options. And then E minor is going to be open E, 2nd fret A, 2nd fret D, open G, open B, open E. Then we're going to do a C, 3rd fret A, 2nd fret D, open G, 1st fret B, open E. Then we got a D, open D, 2nd fret G, 3rd fret B, 2nd fret E. And then we have a D over F sharp, which all that is you're going to take your first finger and put it on the 2nd fret of the E string. And when you do this, you want your finger to actually touch the A string so it's muted. So 2nd fret A, muted A string. Your second finger goes on the 2nd fret of the G string. So we have an open D, 2nd fret G, and then your ring finger is on the 3rd fret of the B string. That's a D slash F sharp, or also known as a D over F sharp. Okay, so all the chords in the song: G, E minor, C, D, and also D over F sharp. Okay, we're going to work through the chord progressions now, and what I am going to do is simply go through each chord progression. I'll do what I call chord placing, which is just putting the chords in time along with the song. I have Ed's isolated vocal that I'm going to play along to. And then I'm going to give you 3 different ways to strum and or pick it, all right? And I'll demonstrate each version along with each chord progression, okay? So first, this song is as a 6/8 time signature. So that means 1 measure of music equals 6 beats, all right? So if you're looking at my chord chart, when I have, you know, 2 underlines under a chord, that means it lasts for 2 measures, and 2 measures in this case is going to equal 12 total beats, all right? So the verse chord progression is going to be G for 2 measures, E minor for 2 measures, C for 2 measures, and D for 2 measures. And every time a verse happens, you repeat that pattern twice, okay? So I'm just going to go ahead and play along with the first verse and do what I call chord placing. I'm just simply going to strum the chord 1 time as it appears.
I found a love for me, darling, just dive right in, follow my lead. Well, I found a girl, beautiful and sweet. Well, I never knew you were the someone waiting for me, 'cause we were just...
Okay, so that's what your fretting hand is doing. That's the chord shapes you're making and how long they last for. Now, from a strumming perspective, I'm going to give you 3 different ways that you could do this pattern. The first one, I think the easiest one, would be to do all down strums, right? And again, this is in 6/8, so we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you notice, I'm kind of already naturally doing it. I'm accenting beat 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means with all of these chords that I'm playing, every strum that I'm doing, I'm going to do it on the lower part of the chord. So I'm not doing all the strings of the G chord. Okay? But I'm going to accent, I'm going to play all the strings of the chord just on beat 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So that, I think that's the easiest way to get started with it. I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate it along with Ed's voice.
I found a love for me, darling, just dive right in, follow my lead. Well, I found a girl, beautiful and sweet. Well, I never knew you were the someone waiting for me, 'cause we were just
The second approach you could take to this chord progression, it's going to kind of actually match the recording a little bit. It's not exact, it's not note for note, but it has the same kind of feel. And so with this one, I'm going to not use a pick, I'm going to use my fingers. And the idea is, so with the G chord, I'm going to use my thumb on the root note. With all the chords, I'm going to use my thumb on the root note. So for a G, I'm playing the E string. For the E, I'm going to play the E string, but for the C, I'm going to play the A string, and for the D, my thumb's going to do the D string. Okay? And then with our middle and our index finger, we're going to play the G and the B string. So for this G chord, I'm not full the full chord. I'm just using two fingers. The G and the B string are open. And I'm gonna do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So on beat 1, I'm playing the root note, and on beat 4, I'm playing the root note. On beats 2 and 3, I'm playing those notes, and on 5 and 6, I'm playing those notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Change to the E minor, same exact thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On the C, same exact thing, except the thumb is on the root note on the A string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then now on the D, again, the root note is on the D string, still doing the G and the B string with my index and middle. Put it all together over the recording, it'll sound like this.
I found a love for me, darling, just dive right in, follow my lead. Well, I found a girl, beautiful and sweet. Well, I never knew you were the someone waiting for me, 'cause we were just kids when we fell.
And so this last strumming version that you could do is very similar to the first one. It's the same idea, except we're just going to go a little heavier with it, and we're going to remove some of the notes, all right? So let me just jam along with it. Let me show you what it is. And I'm going to do this on the second verse, because I think if you do this, you shouldn't do it for the whole song. I think you should bring it in at a later section of the song to have some contrast, okay? So like if you do, a light strumming in the first verse, it might make more sense to do this in the second verse, because it gives the song more dynamics, all right? So let me show you what this is going to sound like.
Well, I found a woman stronger than anyone I know. She shares my dreams. I hope that someday I'll share her home. I found a love to carry more than just my secrets, to carry love, to carry children of our own. We are still kids.
So you can hear that it's similar to the first pattern, but I'm just going a little bit harder and removing some notes. So I'm not really going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going like 1, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4. And I'm stopping that 4 as soon as I hit it. So as soon as I hit it, I'm using the karate chop part of my hand to kill any sounds. I'm also adding some little pickup notes before, like, as I go through it. One, dum, da. I might just like rake the low strings. Right, if you do that and keep it steady, it's a nice little groove with the vocal melody. And now let's take a look at our pre-chorus chord progression, which is gonna be G for 2 measures, E minor for 2 measures, C for 2 measures, and then a measure of G and a measure of D, and then repeat that, G for 2, E minor for 2, C for 2, and then D for 2, but that second one, we're gonna do a rest, okay? And I'm gonna apply the same 3 strumming ideas along with the pre-chorus, okay? So here's the first one. We're doing all straight 8th notes with the accent on 4. Then the second one will be finger picking, and the third one will be the more heavier sounding strumming.
We are still kids, but we're so in love, fighting against all odds. I know we'll be alright this time. Oh, darling, just hold my hand, be my girl, be your man. I see my future in your eyes, baby.
And with the finger picking, again, same idea as we did in the verse. On the G, I'm here. On the E minor, I'm here. On the C, I'm here. And on the D, just moving my thumb. The index in the middle are still playing the G and the B string, and the thumb just goes to wherever the root note is, depending on the chord you're on.
We are still kids, but we're so in love, fighting against all odds. I know we'll be alright this time. Oh, darling, just hold my hand, be my girl, be your man. I see my future in your eyes, baby.
And here is the heavier one with the similar strumming to the first pattern.
We are still kids, but we're so in love, fighting against all odds. I know we'll be alright this time. Oh, darling, just hold my hand, be my girl, be your man. I see my future in your eyes, baby.
And we have our chorus progression, which is just a 4-chord, 4-measure progression. E minor for a bar, C for a bar, G for a bar, and D for a bar. And in the first 2 choruses, you do that 4 times, and in the last chorus, you do it 5 times, okay? So just 4 bars, E minor, C, G, D, 4 times for the first 3 choruses, sorry, the first 2 choruses, 5 times for the last chorus. And I'm gonna go ahead and demonstrate with the 3 different strumming patterns that we could do.
Baby, I'm dancing in the dark with you between my arms, barefoot on the grass, listening to our favorite song. When you said you looked a mess, I whispered underneath my breath, but you heard it, darling. You look perfect tonight.
Here's the second one with finger picking.
Baby, I'm dancing in the dark with you between my arms, barefoot on the grass, listening to our favorite song. When you said
with the heavier strumming.
Baby, I'm dancing in the dark with you between my arms, barefoot on the grass, listening to our favorite song. When you said you looked a mess, I whispered underneath my breath, but you heard it, darling, you were perfect tonight.
And the last thing you need to know about the song is the little break that happens. It happens in the middle of the song, in between the first chorus and the second verse, and it also happens in the outro, okay? And so for this progression, we're gonna do G, and then followed by D, F sharp, and this is a split measure, so that means G happens on beat 1, and then D over F sharp happens on beat 4, and then you're gonna change to E minor on the next beat 1, and then change to D on the next beat 4, and then you have a measure of C and a measure of D. So if I'm counting, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So for strumming for this section, I would either do the eighth notes, or to be a little more accurate to the recording, you do a little cascading picking thing. So on the G, hit the E string, G string, B string, change to the D over F sharp, E string, G string, B string, and notice I'm doing an upstroke on the B string. And then on the E minor, same thing, E string, G string, B string, D string, or sorry, the D chord is gonna be the D string, G string, B string, C chord, A string, G string, B string, and repeat that. And then on the D, D string, G string, B string, and then just ring out the chord. Okay, so you could do that for both the break where that happens, and then for the outro, it's the same thing. It doesn't end on the D. You're just gonna finish it on a G chord. Structure of the song. So the song starts with the verse. So you're going to do the verse pattern twice, and then you have your pre-chorus, and then your chorus, which again, you do your chorus progression 4 times for your choruses. Then you have the little break. Second verse, same as the first. Second pre-chorus, same as the first. Second chorus, same as the first. Then there's a little guitar solo, which you just do the verse progression 1 time. And then the third chorus, you do that chorus progression 5 times. Then you have your outro, which is the break with the G at the end of it. So practice tips for this. First, make sure that you know how to play the chords. If you have never done a D over F sharp before, spend some time practicing that, memorizing it, getting your fingers certain on where they have to go. And then I would work through the chord progressions, specifically, targeting chord changes that give you problems. You always want to isolate tough chord changes. But get the chord progressions under your fingers and understanding how long you are on a chord and when they change. And then play around with the different strumming options, right? If you're on the really newer side of things, I think this first option makes the most sense because you're just doing down strums throughout the whole thing. But, feel free to mix and match as you see fit to make your own unique version of the song. All right, that's it for this video lesson. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.